in the hope of finding themselves in a top 6 position at the completion of the home and away season. And for the Cats, well, they need to restore some belief, don't they? They need to put a few goals on the board so that they can really believe in their system for the final 3 rounds of the season.
So the Cats, through Van der Heuvel, goes to McDonald. Her kick smothered. Gehring's in there, hand pass over the top, back to Van der Heuvel. She goes wide to Gehring. As a play goes down, Abby, that gasp makes me think you might think it might be a serious knee injury.
The umpires will stop play
here. Will be stopped here.
Moody, she was trying to assist in her teammate who is on the ground. We're not entirely sure who that is.
Have to wait and see. It was in that passage of play with the quick hands through McDonald and Van der Heuvel, but Abby, I could just tell from your gasp that it didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good. Here's the replay.
Oh, it's our performance player,
no,
Mimi Hill.
Mimi Hill, the young star. Yeah, the young star here. And you can see she is just grimacing in pain from the second. This is devastating news. She was one of my tips. I've got many for the NAB Rising Star this year.
Well, and that would be devastating. And look...
Your heart breaks, doesn't it, Jo?
Certainly no physio or doctors up here, but it did have those telltale signs of a serious knee injury. So it'll be interesting to see both groups now in their huddles to see what the captains say in these positions. So for a side like Carlton, it's so deflating, particularly for when your young stars looks like they've suffered a serious injury. And for Geelong, you've just come out from the break. You've got to keep your minds on the job and up and about.
Yeah, you really do. It's certainly a dampener on everything that is going right for the Blues so far across those first 3 quarters. But as you can see, Mimi Hill, one of their young, shining lights in this Carlton side, is coming off the ground. Madison Pressbarkis just going over and saying, it's all right, mate, we'll be with you no matter what the verdict is. Fingers crossed it's nothing too serious. And you can just see there as well, Hill just giving the thumbs up to a couple of the Cats players. So everybody is obviously very concerned, but a good smile on the face there. So that's always a positive sign.
So just 6 games into her AFLW career. And had 11 touches to this point today. It was really good last week against North. Who kicked her first goal, her first 2 goals ever.
Yeah, and you can just see her on screen just explaining the movement to the medical staff as well. They will no doubt have a look at that vision, but also assess her as she very, very slowly makes her way over to the Carlton rooms. But she does get a big round of applause. Everybody knows how much of an impact this young woman has had on the competition in just 6 games, Jo.
Yeah, and she's going, as you said, to the rooms, which is the other side of the ground from the interchange gates. So she's definitely done for this afternoon. And look, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
For the young star. As Carlton leads by 23 points. We just started the last term. Interesting to see what it does to their energy when we heard Daniel Harford was asking for a little more in this last quarter. He wants to see them improve from what they produced in the third. So Pound, the goal kicker last term, goes wide. McDonald has Gibbs for company. Moody in best place for this one. Has 2 bites. And Higgins didn't let her have the second. Out towards the boundary line. McAvoy gave the don't argue, got the hand pass off, but only as far as Van der Heuvel. Going to Dick. Pound. What's the umpire going to say? In the back, holding the footy. I'll throw it in. I'll ball it up. I'll ball it up it is. Moody and Karras will go at it. Moody off to Loynes on the left under pressure. Just keeps it inside the boundary line. Hosking. McDonald. McKay spins around and then dropped the footy, and that's holding the ball. So Higgins will emerge with it. Goes toward forward 50. Not the best option. And McAvoy easily chopped that one off for the Blues. She goes direct, has the running Pressbarkis, carries over her head. Off hands, she might get it back. Hand passes towards space. McMahon. Garner, McDonald, Karras. Over the top, trying to win back the footy is Higgins. Does well to Karras. Just throws on the boot inside 50. Cranston bundled off it by Lalawifi. Barber has got Downey right in her back pocket. Shuffling, comes out to Garner, who just throws it on the boot goal. Well, there's no one there, and it's through. Carlton's claiming touched, and the umpire has confirmed that, so it's just through for the one behind.
No, but really good pressure, wasn't it, by the forwards of this Cats outfit as Rocky Cranston just comes off.
He almost stole that out of Lalawifi's hands. She might get it back here, Cranston. What can she do on the left? Pound was in the way. And she just kicks back for space. Karras over the top. Got the jump on Moody. Moody clearly has won the hit-outs in the ruck department this afternoon for the Blues, giving them first use. McDonald spinning in a tight circle and then loading up Lalawifi in best position. And this time she takes it, makes no mistake.
But they're getting those repeat entries, aren't they, the Cats? You look at the inside 50 count and it's 27-24 now, so they're certainly getting the ball in their forward arc, and they've had the 9 scoring shots, but unfortunately majority of them have been behinds.
Haven't made the most of the opportunities, the Cats. At times they've looked really good and quite dangerous. The Blues have just had more class. And Gibbs decides to load up and go long. Wants a Vesio. Went without the footy. The Cats with a clearing kick, but it's going to come straight back towards them. And Wilson pokes it out wide, gives McAvoy a little bit of work to do. Follows up with the support, though, Wilson, and received by hands. Wants McAvoy for the 1-2. McAvoy down the line. Was looking for Petrevski-Seton, but McDonald stood in the way. Comes inboard to Karras. Might decide to just load up and go long. Looking for the lead of McWilliams. Good defensive work by Wilson.
She's so solid back there, isn't she? I spoke of her earlier, but her alongside Harrington and Lalawifi, they're like a brick wall down there in defence, so it's really hard to get the footy past them. She's so good in the air and on the ground as well. Very impressive is Charlotte Wilson.
Egan. O'Day. Vesio just had the hand out, pointing, so I like it there. Thank you, O'Day. Takes the mark and takes off. Goes with the hands over the top, looking for Gibbs. Stevens on the left, bending around the corner. Fading off to the left, though, and just through for one behind. That was classic Vesio, wasn't it?
How's the body work of Vesio? Just the one-handed, I'll hold you off with one arm and take a beautiful mark, and just the recognition to keep going, to go fast then. It was the right option.
But also from O'Day to put it exactly where Vesio wanted it. McDonald knows all she's got into that one. Wanted Webster. Petrevski is there too. Webster won the footy, did well. Got it back to Gehring. Has to turn blindly and just kick and hope. Pounds there. Crockett Grill. 2 number 6s. Egan could have been taken high. Umpire said play on. Petrevski emerges with the footy. Goes towards Hosking. Carrick steals it. Throws it on the boot. There's that defensive unit you spoke about. Abs. Wilson takes the mark. Goes by hand to Harrington. To O'Day. Time and space. Back to Harrington. Vesio flies from deep. Stevens ended up getting first hands to it, though. Ivy hits the deck. Webster with the rolling footy. Goes with a second crack at it. O'Day, a little bit clumsy. Puts her hand up to acknowledge that. And Webster will get the free kick for too high. So no goals yet in this last one. A flat opening to see Mimi Hill go down with what looked like a serious knee injury. Hosking. Umpire's found a free kick. I think that tackle lingered. Home fans not happy. I think they wanted holding the footy.
They're a passionate bunch, aren't they, these blue baggers?
Gearing will waste no time. Looking for Barber. Downey over the top.
Great mark.
Strong hands.
No signs of concussion there, which is excellent to see.
It's good. She did spend some time on the bench after having a face clash with McWilliams. Blood coming from the nose, but able to return. Van der Heuvel to O'Connor. Good work there by hands. Back to Higgins. Barber, another chance. Has a couple for company over the back, off the ground. Barber, no, not quite. Almost. She keeps pursuing. Oh, she's done well here against 3 defenders.
The umpire's just signalled out of bounds on the fall there. So it'll be Harrington to bring it back in.
She's been lively, Barber, coming back into the side today. He's been a target for them, but just hasn't quite been able to pull it off. As Harrington would like that kick back. It's gone out of bounds on the full. So a shot into the hot spot. Well, not even the hot spot, a shot on goal. And it's kick to kick outside the boundary line at the moment. And Harrington's going to get this one back. Has time and space for a run. Goes to Wilson. Gets it back. Has Egan. She might get it back here again, Harrington. Has Gehring for company. Oh, that's a great tackle. That's holding the footy. It was pretty well done by both players in the end. Harrington had a bit of a run, but in the end bit off a little bit too much, more than she could chew. And Gehring was able to load them back inside 50. McWilliams trying to put the body work on Harrington for Maloney. Harrington gets there, though. And Maloney's tackled into the turf.
You can see Eddie Betts on screen with one of the twins hanging off his arm. Both Eddie and Anna, his partner, are fantastic supporters of women's footy. I know firsthand from having him at the Crows in the first couple of seasons. They're always down at training and always at games. So great to see him out here this afternoon.
I'm guessing he's liking what he's seeing. Probably loving the work of someone like Vesio as well. As Maloney sends the Cats inside 50, but Laloifi in best position, able to chop it off and take it on her chest. Looks wide to Wilson, dangerous kick. Rankin was approaching. Wilson able to hang on. Back towards Harrington. No signs of slowing down in this game. She's been everywhere in this last term. Gearing to O'Day. O'Day down the line. One bounce and over it goes. So Lasso rule means Ivy will take the free kick for Geelong.
Oh, I thought he was going to, he is giving 50. That's unfortunate because the interchange bench was right there. He didn't want to give that penalty, but letter of the law, that is 50 metres.
We saw one, it might have been here even recently, and I think Ivy was cluey to it. She was just waiting.
Yeah.
So she's been deep in defence on Vesio for most of the day, and maybe a chance to slot the fifth through for the Cats. O'Day stands the mark. Not a noted goal kicker, only has one so far in her career. Sets sail on the left. It's not going to quite have the carry over the back though. Mark taken. It's Phoebe McWilliams.
And that's what Phoebe McWilliams really prides herself on, isn't it? Just those big contested marks, the ability to fly and bring it to ground. If she doesn't take the mark, she normally brings it down for her smalls.
Wasted no time. Hands to the face as she missed what I think she would have liked to have usually kicked.
Yes, absolutely. She's a great leader in this forward line, so unfortunate miss there.
They might get another chance here, though, as Crockett Grills has put some pressure on Gearin. Laloifi, though, able to run away with it. Her hand pass a little astray. Made it difficult for Gibbs. Back towards McWilliams. Goes by hands to Rankin, who just loads up. Barber will be underneath with Wilson off their hands. And over for a behind. So they're peppering the Cats, but they haven't been able to kick a major in this last term. In fact, neither of the sides have. The margin at 21 points. It was 22 at half-time, so the Cats are actually winning the second half. Extraordinary. As Taylor goes back towards Barber. Blues able to clear towards McAvoy, who takes the mark. So the inside 50s now in Geelong's favour, 31-28. Being a number of repeat entries, particularly this term, that just haven't been able to get it through the big sticks. Plain goes to Stevens in the middle of the ground. She looks up, and all she sees is a sprinting Georgia G. So she goes in that direction. Plain might get it back first. She does. Hand pass over to G, who bends it round and slots it through. Shame for the Cats, really. They had so much of the footy, and then it went bang, 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 bang down the other end.
So much of the footy, Joe. They've really turned the tide on those inside 50s. They're leading Carlton 31-29, so they had those repeat entries, but just couldn't make it count. And on the turn for Carlton, well, they just go end to end, and it's G that really able to slot it through.
So we see Stevens. She had a lot of space in front of her. Plain was there, unable to hand pass over the top to a running G. Daniel Harvard spoke about their transition, so I'll be happy with that, about the decisions they made then inside forward 50.
He would be very, very happy with that. And Georgia G, she's such a live wire, isn't she? So speedy inside 50. But Nicola Stevens, I've been very impressed with her game this afternoon as well. Just the 7 disposals, but what she does with that is so creative.
So Egan sends the Blues inside 50 again. McDonald goes with a clearing kick. Brazzali able to knock it away. Egan wrapped up straight away by McDonald. Can't get rid of the footy, and the umpire will come in and ball it up.
Oh, Joe, there's a huge game to come. Coming up next, you've got the undefeated Pies taking on the informed Dogs. Who are you liking there?
Oh, look, you'd have to go with the Pies, but the Bulldogs have been in such great form. Probably the surprise packet so far of this season.
They have been unbelievable, haven't they? Can't wait for that one. That's coming up next.
The Cats long down the line. O'Connor backing back. Barber almost. Harrington feigns the hand pass and gets it to McAvoy, but she's got McDonald in her pocket. Able to get rid of it. Umpire said that was okay. Barber to Karras. Goes by hands to McDonald, who kicks for space. Hosking, the only player there. And Carlton. The defence has stood strong this term, as it's been inside defensive 50 quite a bit. O'Day. Pearce is short and finds Plain. So Harrington with a busy last term. She's up to 21 disposals. Only Egan with 23 and Prasparkas with 27 above her for the Blues. Goes to Taylor. Brazzali. Stevens on the trusted left. Inside 50, Vesio flew earlier, but in the end had to do the defensive work to get away from Ivy. Egan over the top. It's wide, it's wide, it's too wide. McKay took the mark, but it's out of bounds on the full. So the dying stages of this one, the Blues have done what they needed to do and put a win on the board. And Vesio, can she finish with a late one? She's going to. Can she? Not quite. She's kicked it into a teammate. And G has done the work for her, kicking the only 2 goals in the last term. They've both been to Georgia G.
What a combination. Darcy Vesio and Georgia G. You can just see they love playing with each other, don't they? They really get around each other in that forward 50. You just see the kick in there to a very dangerous position, and it was a 2-on-1 with O'Day and Vesio. You just see her ability to paddle the ball forward. And Georgia G, so clean below the knees. Kicks Carlton's 10th.
And another goal assist to Vesio as well.
Yep, exactly right.
She's had a hand in a lot of their goals today. Kick 2 herself. Georgia G has kicked 2, Gibbs has kicked 2. The multiple goal kickers on the ground. Well, the Cats have shown some upside, not enough to get the win. And Carlton lead it by 33 points. Downey to do the last bit of ruck work for the middle. McKay wins the footy. Can they get one more? Vesio. Oh, a crash of bodies. Siren sounds and beats them all. And the Blues will sing the song proudly.
Well, congratulations to the Carlton Football Club. It was a pretty all-rounded performance in the end, with a number of players really stepping up and taking control. They move to 3-3 after 6 rounds of the AFLW competition. They're still in the race for a finals berth. 10-4-64 to 4-7-31. And Joe, we're at the very pointy end of the season. Do you think this side, looking at them, are a real premiership contender?
They did what they had to do today, which was win. They've got a tough game next week against Freo, and then some potentially easier ones against the Suns and Giants, and they're going to need some other results to go their way, but all they can do is win and win well.
Yeah, and for the Cats, well, they were gallant here at Icon Park in defeat. Even on inside 50s, 32 apiece, but they just couldn't make it count. They've got some winnable games coming up, so fingers crossed that first win isn't far away. But that's all she wrote here from Icon Park. It was the Blues proving too strong for the Cats.